Hi, I'm Darren from accessatlast.com. I'm here to present to you the Molift Smart. The Molift Smart is a portable, lightweight folding hoist. The hoist can safely lift a person weighing 23.5 stones. The hoist is lightweight, weighing 25.5 kilograms, and the battery can easily be removed and is small and lightweight, meaning the hoist then only weighs 24.5 kilograms. I'm now going to demonstrate how you safely assemble the Molift Smart. First of all, this elastic needs to be removed from around the legs. To do this, we simply place our right foot on the base of the hoist. Using your two fingers, you can then release the elastic very easily. Then safely lower the hoist to the floor. Now we need to lift the column into place. To do this, using the pedals, open the legs on the hoist as wide as you possibly can. 1, 2. Now the legs are wide open, you can now lift the column into the position here on the mast. So what we're doing here is lifting up, putting our right foot again on the base of the hoist, and there the column is located. Now we must put the clamp into position. Using both thumbs, there we are, it clicked in safely. Now release the spreader bar. Take down the metal clip and the spreader bar is now loose. Now using the hand control, pressing the up arrow button, the hoist is now ready for use. I'm now going to demonstrate how we lift somebody using the Molift Smart. Taking the Smart towards Steve in this particular case, I would need to open the legs to fit around Steve's wheelchair. I'll do this by pressing the foot pedal at the bottom on the left. By pressing that pedal, you can see there the legs are opening on the hoist. The cord has an exceptionally good length on it, and that's so we can actually take the hoist in towards Steve, and I've got control of the hoist and making sure that the person being hoisted is also safe. Using this particular sling, which is a Molift sling, but other slings can be used on the Molift Smart that have the loop type mechanism, I'll connect up the sling onto each point of the spreader bar. In this particular case, 4 points. You can see how I've not put the spreader bar directly in front of Steve's face. It gives a lot more comfort to the person being hoisted. Always ensure that the wheelchair or the chair that you're hoisting from or the bed has the brakes fixed on, but never put the brakes on the hoist when you're hoisting. Now using the hand control and the direction of up on the arrow keys, we can now safely press the button and we'll go to lift Steve. Now Steve is quite a tall gentleman, but as you can see there, his head is nicely kept away from the spreader bar and it's lifted him in a superb sitting position. Now allowing me to safely pull Steve away from his wheelchair and place him onto his commode, another wheelchair, onto the end of the bed. Again, pushing him back to the chair, it's very lightweight. I can push Steve back towards his chair, come around, ensure that Steve's chair is central and lower Steve back into his chair. Always ensure that the spreader bar is away from the person's face when you're hoisting them. And as you can see, now I've lowered Steve, and I'll just disconnect the sling. You can now see there is no need to position Steve in his chair because he's nicely sat in his chair. I'm now going to demonstrate some of the safety points on the Molift Smart. I'm going to demonstrate the emergency lowering, of which there are two mechanisms, and I'm also going to demonstrate the emergency stop. Firstly, we've got the emergency manual lowering device here, of which I'm going to lower Steve down. As you can see, I've hoisted Steve from his wheelchair. Unbeknown to me, the battery has now run out. I need to ensure that I can lower Steve into his wheelchair. So by using this emergency mechanism here, if I lift this up, you can see how it slowly goes to lower Steve down back into his wheelchair. So that is the manual emergency lowering. If I take Steve back up there, there's also another lowering device. The other lowering device can be used by using the nib of a pen or a sharp object. And what we can do here is by putting the nib of the pen into the emergency release button here, you'll see that it'll, using power, lower Steve back into his chair. So just to clarify, we have two emergency lowering points. We have the manual emergency lowering point if there is no battery power in the hoist, or we have an emergency lowering point here which is operated if there is battery power and for some reason if the hand control is not working. We also have the emergency stop here, and as you can see with the emergency stop, what that does, it operates on a traffic light system. We can see the green band on the emergency stop. If I press that in, the green band is not visible, and the hoist can now not be operated. People often press the emergency stop in on the hoist when the hoist is in its folded position to stop other people, grandchildren, children messing with the hoist. Simply twist the red button, and as you can see, the green band is now on show. I'm now going to demonstrate how we disassemble the Molift Smart. Using the hand control, I'm going to lower the spreader bar down to fold. First, I must point out the height from the floor is 1.65 metres. The Molift Smart has a superb lifting height. I'm now going to lower the spreader bar. Another point to mention is the 4-point spreader bar, which is unique on the Molift Smart. It offers greater comfort and dignity when you're hoisting a patient or person in the hoist. Now, we're going to fold the spreader bar down, and what we must do is secure the spreader bar into this clamp here, like so. So the spreader bar now, if I push, cannot be moved. Again, if we come round to the back of the hoist, using our thumbs, we now release the clamp at the back of the hoist, making the column movable. Again, it's all about technique, and what we do here is using our right foot on the base of the hoist, position yourself and lift the mast out of place. And again, we can now fold down the hoist. Using the pedals, take in the legs. And now what we're going to do is lift the hoist from the front. If we now put our feet on the base of the hoist and bring the elastic round, that is the Molift Smart folded.